I'm so happy that you have some time to be a part of my recovery, and I'm a part of your recovery. Yesterday, I made a video. I did my live stream, and due to the fact that TikTok has been sold and they using the algorithm for the United States and their part in TikTok, that I was unable to post my video that I did live, and but we're back on track now. And this morning when I woke up, I checked and see if I could post it, and I did. So yesterday's video will be on my profile, and you are so welcome to check it out. That was yesterday. Now today is today. Today's Tuesday, and I want to talk to you about keeping it real. Keeping it real. You know that in your addiction, you wasn't keeping it real. You was doing everything to get what you need. You followed what your body been telling the mind, I need more, so go get me some more because I will make you suffer if you don't. And you would go get you more. But you left that lifestyle because you got sick and tired of that lifestyle. You finally given up because you tried all ways and means to get high successfully without giving it up. And you found out that none of your ways have worked. So you entered into the program of recovery, and the program says, well, Robert, you have to live life on life's terms. You have to be honest with yourself and others, meaning you got to keep it real. And you've done this. You've kept it real. You went through the motions. You did everything you can. But now you're at that point where, yeah, I got it going on now. I did all that. So now you may deviate from keeping it real or living on life's terms because you feel that you don't have to do that anymore because you've gotten what you wanted and you're where you need to be. And now you're allowing the blessings of recovery divert you from your primary purpose of living your best life. See, Robert learned that he has to keep the same formula that led him through the hell of dealing with his trauma and the things that he's done to others and the things that people have done to them. And Robert had to learn that he has to work through the pain, not sweep it under the rug. And that's what he did. And it was very painful because going through the pain means you had to relive the pain all over again. But actually, you're gonna live it over and over again until it doesn't feel like pain anymore. And that's going through the pain. And I realized that it's not that simple. It's not that simple that I accept things that I have no power over that truly hurt me. I ex- I have to accept that. Let me give you an example. When a person says, Robert, you know, screwed me over, you done hurt me, you know, manipulated me, you've done so many things to make my life so bad in your addiction. I don't trust your recovery. I don't trust you. I don't want you around me. I don't want you around my family. Get the fuck away from me. That hurts, especially when it's coming from someone that we love. It truly, really hurts. And here's the thing, but you have to go through it. And you go through it. And the first time, it's very, very, very unhealthy. It's healthy. We go through so many issues about this. And let's just hold on for a quick minute. I have my dogs. Let me make sure they're all right. We're gonna get come right back, and you can go nowhere now. Cut that noise. Go ahead. Go ahead. What I say? Pinky, shut up. What I say, Pinky? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back now. Dealing with the feeling that someone you care about that you've hurted does not want to change his behavior or your health, be quiet. Go lay down. No, they don't want you to have nothing to do with you. They don't want to have anything to do with you because what you've done to them, you fully hurt them. You went to the extreme and you brought them through some pain and misery that they will not let go of. They're not going to let go of it. And you feel bad of what you did, so you want to make amends. You're doing everything in your power to connect with these people that you love, but they hate you. So you have to live with the things that you've done to yourself. You have done, you have done what you could do. You've done your part of the program of recovery. Yes, you have. So, since you've done your part of your recovery, but still you have to go through the pain and the hurt of the experience that you've experienced. You feel bad about what you've done, but you've changed your behavior. But the pain is still there. Time goes on in your recovery, but they still feel the same way. So you go through that pain again, but it's not as bad because here's the thing, when you come back and address your actions have hurt others and you love and care about these people, the pain of not being associated or part of their lives, it gets lesser, but the hurt never leaves. You learn to live with the situation, but the hurt never leaves. This is Robert Goodman here on Keeping It Real with my recovery. I'm so happy that you're a part of my recovery, and I'm so grateful that you are a part of my recovery. I'm sorry earlier with my dogs and everything. I have I have 4 chihuahuas and they control the house. Somebody comes at that door, they act like they pit bulls ready to attack. But you know how chihuahuas are. They're very territorial. They like peace and quiet. So forgive me for the interruption. But let me get back to it. See, when we're in that phase of that comfortability in our recovery, where we've built a period of time where we don't have a whole bunch of issues going on and stuff, this is where we have to watch ourselves. We gotta keep doing what's working. We gotta keep using that same formula that's got us to this point. We gotta keep working. See, I realized in my recovery that if I don't watch myself now more so with my peace and with my life, I can be my worst enemy and derail my relationship, which I truly don't want to do. Because there was a point, well, let me get back. When I completed the 12 steps of recovery, when I repeated that, I did all them, and after having awakening as a result of these steps, I try to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And when I completed, I had that spiritual awakening that I shared in other videos that, damn, Rob, you duped yourself. You was the fool. You conned yourself for 40 years, which gave me a desire and a zeal to stay focused and to keep recovery foremost in my mind, to learn everything I can, because it's to protect me in my recovery. So I learned in having years in recovery that I must keep it real with myself. I must continually be honest with myself. I must feel and understand that Robert only can control himself and his actions if he pays attention to them. It's like you're taking a test, you're in school, you're taking a test, and the teacher's making sure that nobody cheats. Nobody's looking on anybody's paper to get these answers. So it's the same thing we should do with our recovery. We should be the teacher, making sure we don't divert ourselves from our primary purpose of staying clean and sober. Keeping it real. Another thing, keeping it real. When we built our lives up from the ashes of addiction and we created this life for ourselves, there's a point that we need to understand that will keep us humble in our recovery. And that is when you go from addiction to recovery, when you're able to take care of yourself, you're living life on life's terms. So when you get to that point where you're able to take care of yourself, others, your wife, your children, when you are being able to do the normal things that is required of you as a parent or a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend in a relationship, do you know you're just getting on board? You're not doing nothing special. To you, it's special because you came from addiction. But to life on a whole, that's something that you have to do to survive. Everybody does that. There are people that's been doing that for years. There's people that they work all week long and their days off, they drink, they may do drugs, they party, and then they go back to doing their lifestyle and they go back to living life on life's terms and they work and take care of their family. But this is what they do. And they don't fall down the rabbit hole. They don't get pulled down and destroy their lives and hurt others. They're just focused on living that life that they choose to have. So when you have the humility to understand that when you're just at the point where you're taking care of yourself and your loved ones, you're just like everybody else. There's nothing special about it. It's special to you because you're a recovering addict. You came from addiction. You came up from destroying yourself. You came up from messing your life up. You came from making bad choices, hurting loved ones, friends, and strangers. And you diverted yourself from this type of lifestyle and you're working in the program of recovery, which is telling you to keep it real at all times. But you're just getting on board. And when you realize that, that just makes you a productive person of society, when you realize that you're just like everybody else now, you're a part of a productive person of society. You you are a person that people will look up to, will admire what you've been through and how far you've come. People will not even believe that you was like that because they never seen that side of you. They've only seen the recovery side of you. They only seen that person that takes care of their family and their children. They only see that husband that loves his wife. They only see this side. They didn't see none of the dirt and the craziness that you've done. So they can't picture you in that light. And then there's people that see you in your addiction and are totally amazed at where you've come from and where you're at today. But there's a point that I want to share is that when we get to this point, we shouldn't, we should not look down on someone that is suffering an addiction. See, it's human nature to put ourselves above those that are suffering. It's in our nature. But as recovering addicts, we understand the pain of addiction. And I personally believe is that as long as Robert understands the pain of addiction, as long as Robert keeps the things that he did in his past fresh in his mind, as long as he continues in his recovery and looking at himself, where he was and where he is today, then I'll stay clean and sober, and I will have love, compassion for others. See, when I looked at myself, at my addiction, I didn't like that person. But as time goes on, I learned that my actions was because I have a disease. And this is why I did what I did. This is why I hurt loved ones and others. Also, I had to accept that everybody doesn't think that addiction is a disease. A lot of people think that you just ain't got enough willpower to stop. You're weak. You're never going to change. You're just weak. But as I've learned in recovery, it got nothing to do about weak. Because here's the thing: the chances that I took in addiction, in recovery, I would never ever do them things. In reality, I would never ever do them things. The things I did in addiction, in a clear mind that I am now, I would never do them things. Which lets me understand and know beyond a shadow, a sound fact that I have a disease because I have no control over myself once I put that cocaine into my system. This is Robert Goodman keeping it real with my recovery. I'm so happy that you're joined. I'm so happy that you're a part of my recovery. Thank you for being here. I'm here Monday through Saturday, 7:30 to 7:35. And I'm here and I share my strength and hopes. I hope I give you some information to help you along the way in your recovery. And as I shared in March, we were going to be doing some Q&A once a week. We're going to do a Q&A. We're going to ask questions and we're going to take comments and we're going to ask questions and we're going to do live and allow people to come in and you sit there and we can hash it out. But I want you to understand that it's about recovery. It's about us learning information from each other, sharing our strength and our hopes together to help someone else in need in recovery. My purpose here is to make sure that somebody has some information to put in their playbook so they can use whenever they need for their recovery. Because I suffered for 40 years and I don't want you to have that kind of pain hanging over your head like I have mine. So you know I did a lot of damage in 40 years. And just because I have years of recovery, it doesn't mean that all that stuff I did goes away. I hurt a lot of people, done a lot of dirt. So how I give back from my actions of in my addiction, I give it back in recovery by helping others come to recovery. So now let's get back to it. You know, I realized in my recovery that each person has a right to make a good decision or bad decision. Recovery taught me that I got no control over nobody but myself. And I won't have no control over myself unless I pay attention to myself or what I say and what I do. Because I'm the one that duped myself to being in addiction for 40 years. I did that to myself. Recovery taught me how to look at myself honestly. I did that to myself. So that's telling me, Robin, if you don't pay attention to yourself, you're your worst enemy. You will destroy your life if you don't get it, if you don't get recovery, if you don't live it, if you don't share it, if you don't keep it strong in your mind. See, here's the thing. I love cocaine. I love how it makes me feel motivated. I love how it makes me feel. But what happens is that's all I want. That is all I want. I want it when I'm having a good day. I want it when I'm having a bad day. I want to have it when I have to work hard. I wanted to have it when I'm having a party. I want to have it when I'm having sex. I want to have it to go to work. I want to have it because I'm not feeling good. I use it as medication. That tells me, just by me saying that, that tells me, boy, you screwed yourself. Because everything revolves around getting high, putting that drug into your system. See, when I keep that fresh in my mind, then I can guard myself. I can guard myself from going down the rabbit hole. The blessing of recovery, let me tell you, this is really powerful right here. The blessing of recovery, I get to see things that I haven't seen while I was in my addiction. Addiction caused me to be duped, conned, manipulated, all that. But recovery showed me why I was duped, manipulated, conned. Because I let a drug control me. I let a drug control me. The drug was the boss. I was just a slave to the drug. The drug was the master. I was the slave. See, and when I say it like that, then automatically I don't want to put myself in a position to fall back down that rabbit hole. Then my mind clicks back to some of the bad things that addiction has brought me to. So it keeps it fresh in my mind. So I'm not going to fall back down the rabbit hole because I see the bad side of the addiction. And for me seeing the bad side, there wasn't as much bad side of the 40 years that a lot of other people have experienced. See, there was times when I was high for 5 years, 7 years, 18 months, 6 months. These are actual full times, actual full times that I was high. Woke up high, went to sleep high. did not run out. My fear in my addiction was to make sure I wouldn't run out. So most of the time in my lifetime, I had enough dope to kill myself 10, 15, 20 times over. So, but I learned a lot about myself because recovery is causing me to look at my actions and deeds in my addiction. It teaches me the person that I was. It teaches me the things that I did, and I learned to be honest and open about my situation. So here's the thing. In order to keep moving forward, I got to keep it real. And by me keeping it real with Robbins, I'm keeping myself honest with myself and others in my recovery. By me keeping it real and honest with myself, I don't fall victims to the trap of others. See, this is one thing that I've learned in recovery. When you get better, when you get better, when you build a life for yourself, there are going to be a group of people that are going to be jealous of you. They're not going to like you. They're going to hate you. You women are, looking tore up in your addiction, but now you're looking sexy and beautiful. And there are other women that can't stand you because you're shining. Men, you're having things now. You're conducting yourself in business. You're taking care of your family. You're becoming a productive person. And people that have been doing that lifestyle has not moved quickly up the ladder like you did. And you're not, and they're not as happy as you are because you're living the life that you oh so desperately wanted to live. So there's going to be a lot of jealous people that's going to be jealous of you. Also, there's going to be people that likes you in your addiction because you're someone that they could kick around. This you are someone they can manipulate for their own gain. But now that you're in recovery, they can't do that because you're making yourself the priority. You've changed yourself. You reinvented yourself. You made yourself better by working the steps in recovery. I'm 66 years old, and we're living now in a world that people are totally jealous. There's a lot of jealousy, and it's the secret jealousy that's dangerous. People that are jealous of you because of who you are and what you're doing. And all you're doing is living your life, your best. But there are people that are jealous, trying to nitpick and pick at what you built so under the ashes of addiction. You built this beautiful world and life for yourself. That's why it's important for you to keep it real at all times with yourself and others. Because there are going to be people that's going to try to divert you from your primary purpose. If you're doing good, somebody may send that sexy woman to divert you from your relationship with your partner. Or a friend might ease some dope into the situation to see if you're going to bite because they want you to be what they want you to be, not what you choose you want to be. That's why Robert keeps the focus on himself. That's why Robert works on Robert. That's why Robert watches what he says and what he does. And those that are against, I accept that they're against me. I watch, but I do not let them be a part of my inner circle. I do not let these people come into my life and divert me from my primary purpose. I keep them on the outside looking in because they're detrimental to my recovery. This is Robert Gummin here, keeping it real. I'm so happy that y'all joined. I'm so happy that you being a part of my recovery. I'm glad you're here. Yesterday was a trip. What they didn't change it over TikTok to the U.S. algorithm, and a lot of people are going to be unhappy about the way they set up. But you have to understand this: United States is a capitalist country. It's all about making money. Everything's about making money. There was a time when we would make something and we want it to last. Now they have screwed everything up so badly that everything is temporary. Basically, your cell phone is good for 2 years. You got to get another one. Because I'm full coverage for 2 years, and then you got to get another policy, and then you start to have issues. Nothing's nothing is made to last in this country. It's to keep you bound by things, by things. So it's something to think about. So whatever they have planned for us here on TikTok, as long as Robert can express recovery, share about addiction, as long as I'm getting the information out to those that are willing to listen, that's my only concern. Because that's the only reason that I'm here to help people to stay clean and sober. That when I look on people's profiles, the thoughts and the positive energy that they give and these music videos and these things is a part of my recovery. It gets me psyched sometimes. Some of the things. And then to sit somebody up and just give their daily activity and their ups and downs, that's a special person that's willing to share their inner life with the public so you won't get duped and get high. That's a blessing. So let's continue on, keep helping each other stay focused and stay clean and sober. Before I leave, I want to say this for today. I'll be back tomorrow, Monday through Saturday, between 7:30 and 7:35. I'm here doing live stream, keeping it real about my recovery. But starting tomorrow, it's gonna be called The Confessions of My Recovery. The Confessions of My Recovery. All my videos from now on is going to be about the confessions of my recovery and how we can apply this information today. It's going to be here on TikTok, the same theme is going to be on Facebook when I do my live stream, the same thing on YouTube when I do my live stream. Everything is going to be about the confessions of my recovery. and the theme will be up under it for that particular video. So I want to share that information with you. Thank you for being a part of my recovery, and I really appreciate y'all for coming in here and joining in and to listen to what I have to say. But last but not least, I ask you to subscribe to my TikTok channel. Please do, because the more you subscribe, the more people I can reach. The more you subscribe, the more people I can reach. And that's my goal, to reach as many people as I possibly can. It's Tuesday and it's 8:09. I want y'all to have a great and wonderful day. Now, I'll share a little tidbit. Well, today I got to go to I have two physical therapies. And today I have to go to one of them. And that's for my arthritis and like chronic pain in my lower back. And then later this week, I have to go to my other physical therapy that I had my prostate removed because of cancer. So I have therapy for that. So, yes, I deal with regular issues. I deal with pain too. But here's the interesting thing, I take very little pain medication. I do what works for me. And I do things to make sure that I don't pick up and use also. I hope you do the same for yourself. This is Robert Goodman here on TikTok, keeping it real. Wishing y'all to have a great, wonderful day. And tomorrow, we'll be talking about the confessions of my recovery.